morning, Jai Hind to all our viewers on the Zoom platform and also on Facebook. And it's an absolute honor to have Dr. Chona amongst us, someone who is a personal idol for me because she's given so much to the field of education, but chose a field which I think is the most needed today in not only all over the world, but especially in India. And I think when we started with the online platform now, children with special needs has always been very, very close to my heart. And I feel that they are the ones who are kind of getting left behind. So I have requested Dr. Chona to speak on this topic about our children not getting left behind on the online platform and otherwise also on the offline classroom education that we give to our children. And it's an absolute pleasure and also a great honor, ma'am. The stage is all yours, ma'am.
Namaskar, namaskar. Thank you so much for welcoming me. All of us together make this world. We are actually the inclusive ones who are creating temples of learning. When one meets people like you or hears about you, one realizes that one is not alone in this world. One is not alone in this new normal. One is not alone in this new virtual world where all of us are getting together in a rich way and learning from each other. I think it's all about human mind. Now, getting back to the subject of the morning talk, I fully agree that every child must be successful. Every child requires to participate in the new normal. I'm very, very sorry at times that we are getting into a kind of a divide where some have an advantage over the others. I hope that's not happening in Sunbeam, and your beam is reaching every home of the 29,000 children. I have been planning for the Government of India, HRD, on a cell where we are helping students not to get, affected, not to get depressed, not to get, sad about the way things are going on in the new normal. Because it is true that it's tough for them. Some of them don't have the connectivity, others don't have the gadgets, and so on and so forth. But lucky must be your kids where you're providing wherewithal for them. It's wisely said that everything has two coins, the good and the bad. While the students are getting depressed, they're, missing their classmates, they're missing the breaks and so on. But all the same, learning is taking place. And the Government of India is making every effort to succeed in virtual learning. Now, in virtual learning, there is a little pressure on the teachers also, but I congratulate all the teachers for coming up so miraculously at this challenging time and giving their best to their kids. They were not used to it, but I know that suddenly what has dawned on them is a new matter, and for them to be able to size up to the need is really to be congratulated. I'm sure when your kids get back, meet their fellows, class fellows online, I'm sure they are really endearing to be into normal times again. But this corona, in Hindi I would say, is a sansar of karuna. बहुत दुख है, बहुत ही परेशानी है, लेकिन इस परेशानी के लिए, इस न्यू नॉर्मल के लिए, the only way forward is to be able to connect with everybody on a virtual, stream. Therefore, the new normal, as I call it, is a virtual normal. Yesterday, somebody was telling me, we were having a big discussion, and they said, do you see God? I said, no. Do you believe in God? I said, yes. So they said, okay, if you don't see God and you believe in God, then you will believe in the virtual. But this is exactly what is happening. The waves are being sent from here to America, from back from America to India, to Africa, to all continents in the world. And we are connected like we are connected with God whom we've never seen. But fortunately, this virtual also gives you the visual. And therefore, I think our scientists, our entire team is really to be congratulated for making this time a little easier than it could have been. You said that you are happy or fortunate or honored to have me. I should say that these webinars are now my life because I get connected to great people like you where I may not be able to come or visit, but this is giving me a new opportunity. I wanted to share another life's experience, and that is I'm just bringing out a book called I Am Zero. That means that how schools, students, teachers, my experiences, my exposure, my education has made me to be what I seem to be. But in reality, I'm a zero to the extent that I'm a learner. What I am learning today from virtual reality, from the new normal, is absolutely more than I thought in my lifetime I would have ever learned. Well, I thought I'll just make a very generic talk, and so I'll be happy to answer any questions because I think life is actually connectivity. And if we can meet with the hearts and heads and soul and spirit, then there's nothing like it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your talk. And I think it was very inspiring because it is leaders like you who really inspire a lot of us to keep learning. That's the most important journey I think we need to take. Any tips on how we can make our learning platform better to engage these students?
Yeah, I think the most important thing in this kind of remote learning is to make it easy, to make it fun, to make it story-like, to make it, more communicative. It should be two-way because the students can't go on listening to one single teacher, and there should be a whole lot of, one to the other and the other to the next and next, which I think in some of the matters is not happening. We would ourselves like to join in your classes to see what is going on so that if we can learn something. As I said, I am a lifelong learner, and so are the Tamanna institutions, so was DPS. Because if you're willing to learn, then you can grow. Because when you add a 0 to a 1, it goes to the zenith. But if you add a 0 to the other side of the 1, then you go down and down and down. So this is a time to learn from each other. The second thing is that when our teachers are teaching, they get, as I've already said, too serious. Our classrooms have to be happy. Our atmosphere have to be happy. We cannot push the children. If one day the child doesn't attend, I mean, it's okay. And there are too many tests going on. And now the government is saying that there will be two, exams in a year, which is going to be really, really very, very disheartening for the kids. Now they get homework after sitting before the screen or whatever for 4 or 5 hours, and then the teachers are giving them homework. When will they, breathe? When will they play? When will they, at least do something? Now we are building in hobbies, we are building in dance, we are building in music. We even had a very great Independence Day celebration. I'm sure so did you. But the fact still remains that each child is feeling wanted. I think that's the key to success. They're not nobodies. Each one is special, whether they are affected or not. The main issue is that inclusion means living together harmoniously, living together in a learning manner, and also respecting each other. One thing that I'd like to tell the others in schools, who are not necessarily dealing with the special kids, that these children have so much to teach us. God gives them birth with a reason. Had I not given birth to Tamanna, I wouldn't be what I am. I respect every organ in my body. I respect her for facing the world so brilliantly. We have to actually worship them and learn from them how to cope up in spite of the cruel looks, in spite of so many other factors which sometimes bring them down. So, what I'm trying to say is that this is a time for inclusion of online, offline, old times, new times, people, teachers, parents. I mean, I don't think parents were ever so involved with their students. I'm talking of your sunbeam students, regular students. I feel happy that we bound them. Normally, they're running away. Their jobs, their ambitions, they're reaching the sky is becoming more important than their children. But now that they have to sit with their children, whatever it may be, but I do think that parenting makes such a great difference. Answer your
Yes,
question.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Gurmeet, ma'am, our principal of Sunbeam Bhagwanpur has raised a hand and would like to ask the question. Over to you, Gurmeet, ma'am.
Good morning and Jai Hind everyone. And ma'am, my question to you is like what you said about music and dance and other activities which was taking place. How do you segregate say till class 5, then 6 to 8, then 9, 10, and 11, 12? How do you make the timetable? What subjects you basically focus? Because in senior classes it is like more subject specific. We don't know whether the board exams will happen, not happen, and how they are going to happen. So teachers are after the syllabus doing.
No, I think whatever syllabus or no syllabus, you must follow the timetable that you were following before the pandemic. You know what I mean? You must have inbuilt sports, you must have yoga, you must have had dance, music, morning assembly, and all the other things, a break, etc. Excepting then, maybe you had a period of 40 minutes and the teachers coming for each a different teacher for the way it was going on. The only difference is that now it's virtual and there it was face to face. So we are not finding it hard. Even in Tamanna, we are following this. We have the NIOS 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, but they are following the same timetable. And then the principals are actually peeping into every section every now and then and giving the reports whether the teacher was well prepared or not. But the fact still remains that the new normal is hard, but it is not so bad if you make it easy on the kids. Earlier, it was teacher centered, syllabus centered. Please make it child centered. Ask the children, what do they want? I don't know how much of democracy you have in your school. The teachers are there, but students are more important. In my life, child is the key to a great successful school. If your kids are happy, then you will be happy and not the other way around. And they will make you so happy, so fulfilled that you would want to keep coming back to them and not really say, oh my God, yet another day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would also request others to raise their hand, those who want to ask questions. In the meanwhile, Aditya sir has already collated one or two questions. Can I ask you, Aditya sir, to ask your questions?
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good morning and Jai Hind, ma'am. My question is slightly different, ma'am, because having gone through your resume, you are one of the very few teachers in India who have been recognized by the government with a Padma Shri and then with a Padma Bhushan, which is so fantastic. And that's the reason why almost all of us in our generation look up to you as a teacher. Again, thanks to Vladimir Putin bringing up the vaccine to be administered to doctors and the teachers, and the thought behind it again brought in front the teacher community and the respect that they have. In India, for us as teachers and for everyone who is listening to you live on Zoom, what is it? What are the three things, ma'am, that you would like to give as a mantra for us to possibly not even aspire to be there where you are, but possibly at least make an effort to walk a few steps on towards that direction. Three mantra for a good teacher.
Sir, I'm hardly the kind who would profess anything or be a guru of the gurus. If at all, I have three gurus, if you would accept the truth. My first guru is my students. My second guru is the teacher. And my third guru is the parent of the students. And if every teacher follows these three gurus, then I think there will be joy, there will be desire to learn, and there will be so much of fun because kids know more than us. You will be surprised, after doing pranayam, I touch my daughter's feet every single day. She's sitting here with me, she'll bear me out because if she's happy, I'm happy. Now, I think you need to do a survey how many kids are happy doing this online learning. But I'm sure you're seeking something more from me other than these very simple things. So let me come to the, grassroots of what you might be thinking. So the first thing is that to be a teacher, you have to love yourself. If you love yourself as a teacher, then others will also love you. Secondly, if your students really rise to high scales, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and earn a name for yourself, they give you a name. When Raghuram Rajan became the governor of the state, governor, and being my student, I felt that there was I had produced someone so different. And then there are so many such examples. They are the ones who brought me the Padma Shri and the Padma Bhushan. I didn't. Let me tell you. It's my students, because I love them. They reached places and they pulled me up. It's a fact.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I think
Thank you so much.
would like to say, yes, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for agreeing. It was an absolute pleasure and an honor for us. Hope to see you soon.